Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I wanted to share a couple of clips with y'all. How y'all doing this evening? I wanted to share a couple of clips with y'all. I'm not even gonna give it too much of a preface. I just want you to hear it.
Most women are not having children because they just want to be a mom. Most women are using sex to get love, and all they get is a baby. And now they're left with nothing but resentment and struggle and a lower perceived value. Whether or not it's the patriarchy or not, that's life. It's I'm Black. That's life.
It's just unrealistic expectations then on women to be those two things.
But I think the unrealistic part that you just said, the majority of children are accidents. They are not intentional.
Okay.
The majority of children, I slept with this man, I like this man, we raw dog.
Accidents is a crazy thing.
It's true. How many people are planning their
You're right, unplanned. Accidents is crazy.
I mean, it's the truth. No, it was an accident. I did not mean for that to happen. An accident you don't mean to happen.
And it did.
And it did.
It can't be an accident when you have the choice to nip it in the bud.
No, it is an accident because maybe you don't have the money to make the choice.
Valid.
Maybe you don't have the privilege to make the choice. Maybe you live in a state and you can't get to the state over to make the choice. There's so many things of why you can't. So let's say we did this thing that I did not plan on. It was an accident, whatever, unplanned, however you want to word it, doesn't matter.
I will say if we speak to high value,
yes,
or high, let's take a high value. Let's do high earning.
Okay, which also
if you think of
hella low value, by the way.
High earning women,
yes,
that I know in my space,
could
give a about whether their child even has a dad because they want to be a mom.
They're probably older.
They're in their 30s because there's a ticking time. Again, scientifically, if you have the money to go through IVF, I have two friends that just went through IVF. Expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's like 30 grand.
So they're on a time constraint, or then you have to pay for a surrogate, so to me, this idea of and going back to a woman who's 50 with two kids, even one baby daddy, this idea that she didn't want to or isn't wife material, I think that's the rhetoric I wish we as women would stop putting out there, because that is the thing too, in terms of the Kevin Samuels and people who have sat here and talked about a woman being high value or losing value or being less worthy. This idea that we as women project that, knowing what our bodies intake or go through, knowing women that are dope ass women. I just hate that we are pushing that narrative that, well, maybe they're not the material to be chosen by one of these bum ass.
Most women are not having children because they just want to be a mom. Most women.
The opening volley. Most women aren't choosing motherhood because they like motherhood. That's 100% real. Most women of today are not having children and birthing children and raising children because they value motherhood so much. That's not why they're doing this. Especially the chronic single mother. She got 2, 3, 4 baby daddies. She got 2, 3, 4 kids. She's not having those children because she liked motherhood. She's not having those children because the children themselves are so desired. Most of these women, especially chronic baby mamas, are having children for any other reason other than that. They're having kids because they think it comes from a number of dysfunctions. Anything from I don't have nobody to love me, so I think that my child is going to be a captive audience for somebody to force them to love me, quote unquote, unconditionally and all of that kind of crap. Then you got the chick that thinks she can trap a man with a kid. That don't never work. I don't know how many times y'all got to do that. Then you got the chick that she don't really care about what the man is doing. She want a baby because she just want one. And we know that they're not having these children for the sake of the value and the wonderfulness of motherhood, because they talk down on motherhood. They talk down on all of the things that are the responsibilities of motherhood. First of all, the first responsibility of motherhood is making sure that you have the stability, i.e., a marriage with a man that you trust in order to have a baby with him intentionally. Now, when she went on to say accident, I don't agree with the word accident, because it's not an accident, but it is without intent. And when I say it's without intent, it's because most of these women are not moving with any kind of actual aim or real goal. They vibing, they bouncing around, they not paying attention. They don't think it's going to, quote unquote, happen to them. They think that they're going to be free to run around with these men, have sex willy-nilly with the men, no protection, no birth control, no precaution, none of it. Having sex raw with men that they don't know. These are one-night stands. These are hookups. These are guys that they met somewhere or on an app or went to a club or went to somewhere else. Had sex with a man or men. No protection in sight. Nobody has thought about it. The woman did not make it a requirement, knowing full and well that if she gets pregnant, she's the one that has the decisions to make. She's the one that's going to carry the burden of that decision, whether she carry the baby to term or not. She the one that's going to do the heavy lifting. And knowing all of that, they go back and forth with men that they don't barely know, men that they don't hardly like. And the only intentional decision that they be making is whether or not to keep that child. That is intentional. And among those, you have the ones who can't nobody, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to get rid of it. Now, Planned Parenthood is the birth control. They're going to go get that done 50 times if they have to. Then you got the other set who gonna bring the child to term no matter what the so-called father is saying, whether he wanted the child or not, whether he knows she pregnant or not, whether that's something that he was ready for or not. Knowing full and well that as a woman, you're the one that's going to have to bear the brunt. You. And all of that is taken lightly before and after the pregnancy, because you got a lot of chicks that take that going to that clinic real light. They don't think two times about doing that. That don't weigh on them or nothing. Then for the ones that bring the children to term and have the child, now only after the fact, now you want this man
whom you may or may not have even known very well. Now you want him to quote unquote step up and be this idealistic father to the child that you quote unquote wanted or you quote unquote need him to be. But I call cap on the type of man you wanted or needed him to be because you didn't secure that. As a woman, y'all talk so much about women needing security and women needing protection and women needing this and needing that in order to feel safe and in order to do things properly or whatever. And in the same breath and in the same token, you will not secure a secure situation. You will not attempt to secure a situation, i.e., marry this man, get to know this man. Figure out what kind of man this is. Then you want to complain later. He crazy. He shiftless. He a deadbeat. He don't care. He don't want the kids. He don't want. But how much of this did you think about or research did you do prior to? You did 0%. 0%. Every decision that you had an opportunity to make, you uncannily made the wrong decision. First of all, having sex willy-nilly. Having sex willy-nilly. This is why the Most High said don't be fornicating and all that kind of stuff. This is why he say don't do that. Don't even start doing all that. Having sex without the responsibilities. Getting with each other without the marriage. Trying to circumvent. There's no such thing as sex with no strings attached. There's no such thing as casual sex with no string attached. There's always a string. There's always a string. How long has hookup culture been going on and been progressing before y'all feel like and realize and understand and see that there is no such thing as just sex and then nothing comes of it? Then you want to complain about everything that a woman go through during pregnancy and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, while that might be technically true about the pregnancy and what a woman's body go through, that don't have you chose to do that under a precarious, unsecured situation with a man that was a question mark from A to Z. You don't even know this dude's real name. He gave you his street name. You still running around here calling him Loke Dog and all that kind of stuff. You don't even know that boy name. You don't even got his real number. You got to contact him over social media. You got to DM him through Instagram. You got to talk to him through Facebook Messenger. You ain't even got his number for real. Then you want Loke Dog and them, whose real name is Theodore Appleby III. You don't know that. You want him to step up. And then get mad and want to drag him and his character But you made these decisions. You knew that you were going, if you got pregnant, you knew that you were going to be the one to carry it. He can't do it. He can't do it. And whether you went to Planned Parenthood or not, you have a decision to make about this child. And the reason that you have a decision to make about the child is because you're not married to that man. That's the whole point of the decision having to be made in the first place. Is because you're not in a stable marital relationship with this man to where you can bring him the pregnancy test and he look at you and say, we pregnant. Oh, baby, we pregnant. You found out you was pregnant one of them days. It took you 3 weeks to even call him to get in touch with him. Then you want to be mad with him. Y'all are cooked. This is why y'all cooked. Right. He hit her with the, so what you gonna do? Hit her with the, that's crazy. It ain't, oh, it's mine. Yeah, it's yours. Now you want to feel, you know what I'm saying, appalled that he would even ask you that. But he the one bust you down after 2 times y'all talked on the phone and it wasn't even that long. And then you came over his house. So how is you figuring like he's supposed to be automatically assuming that he was the only one able to do that? And then the real cook ain't even necessarily what Sarah's saying, because even though I don't agree with the terminology necessarily of accident, she's not really lying, because these women are getting into these situations for every reason other than the correct reason why you're supposed to be having children anyway. Y'all not trying to bring about, you know what I'm saying, the next wonderful generation. You selfishly having these kids. You having these kids for your own selfish reasons, whatever those reasons are. The rest of it, a little bit.
Are using sex to get love and all they get is a baby. And now they're left with nothing but resentment and struggle and a lower perceived value. Whether or not it's the patriarchy or not, that's life. It's I'm Black, that's life.
It's just unrealistic expectations then on women to be those two things.
But to be unrealistic expectations on women to be wives and mothers under an actual marriage and a construct, some type of structure. She said that it was an unrealistic, something that has been going on since the dawn of mankind. She sat up here and said out of her mouth something that human beings have been doing since time immemorial, that it was somehow an unrealistic expectation for women to be wives and mothers under a marriage and in the correct circumstances. This is how these chicks think. somehow this is an unattainable thing. It's unattainable. Make that make sense to me. Unattainable how? How is it unreasonable to expect women to fulfill the role of women? This is why I always be saying feminism make women don't want to be women. You don't even want to be women. You want to be chaotic, but you don't want to be women. Because it's literally, she said, it's too much to ask of the general body of women to uphold their part, their duty of the social and biological contract of entering into the most stable situation that they could possibly procure for themselves, and then start having children and risking their body and health in order to do so. So don't have the child under a circumstance where you can actually be supported. You're in one of the most vulnerable states that a woman can be in, pregnancy and immediately after childbirth. You need all the help you can get. And you mean to tell me that this is unrealistic? But it's not unrealistic for y'all in the same breath to say that men need to make $100,000 a year to even talk to you. It's not unrealistic to say that men have to provide and protect you. It's not unrealistic to say that men still need to be chivalrous, and they still need to be these upstanding leaders that have everything together, and that they know how to do this and know how to do that and fulfill all the things that you imagine that a man is supposed to be able to do and able to do for you. That's not unrealistic. That's not an unrealistic set of expectations according to you, but saying that women also have a part to play, a role to uphold in that, which is to make sure that she's suitable for the wife and mother role. That's unrealistic. You want him to come in, pay bills, make sure, solve your problems, you know what I'm saying, give you emotional support, have sex with you, this, that, and the third. You want him to do all this stuff that's supposed to be, he's just supposed to do it. And what exactly are you supposed to be doing? And they never can answer that question. What are you supposed to be doing? What's your job?
I think the unrealistic part that you just said, the majority of children are accidents. They are not intentional.
Okay.
The majority of children, I slept with this man, I like this man, we raw dog this.
Accidents is a crazy take.
It's true. How many
Okay.
people are planning their drink?
You're right. Unplanned.
There-
Accidents is crazy.
I mean,
Maybe
it's the truth.
unplanned.
No, it was an accident. I
Okay.
did not mean for that to happen. An accident you don't mean to happen.
And it did.
And it
But
did.
it
So
did,
now,
but it can't
so
be an
you
accident
can't-
when you have the choice to nip it in the bud.
No, it is an accident because maybe you don't have the money to make the choice.
Valid.
Maybe you don't have the privilege to make the choice. Maybe you live in a state and you can't get to the state over to make the choice. There's so many
Valid.
things of why you can't. So let's say we did this thing that I did not plan on. It was an accident, whatever, unplanned, however you want to word it, doesn't matter.
I will say if we speak to high value
Yes.
or high, let's take high value. Let's do
Okay.
high earning.
Okay. Which also
If you
could be
think of
hella
high-
low value, by the way.
high
But okay.
earning women,
Yes.
Mind you, I want y'all to watch what she just said. She didn't want to talk about high value women. She wanted to talk about high earning women. That's important, actually. She just made a very important distinction. Because why don't you want to talk about high value women? Because what makes a woman of high value? It's not her money. That's not her value. This speaks further to the mindset that most of these women have. That money can replace the value of a husband and father. Because listen to the rest of this foolishness.
I know
okay.
in my space,
Yeah.
could give a fuck about whether their child even has a dad because they want to be a mom.
They're
And
probably older.
That was problematic right there. That don't care whether or not the child had a father because she wanted to be a mom, which still man Sarah's point that the women are not having these children altruistically. They're having them selfishly. That was Sarah's whole initial point. That it doesn't matter how it's going down. Anytime you have a child unintentionally, there's no marriage, no relationship, no solid ground, and you are having children willy-nilly, then you are having those children selfishly for your own selfish needs. Because that's also the epitome of selfish. Because why don't you care? You feel like you don't need a man, so the child don't need a father. This is the cooked mentality. This is the cooked mentality. I quote unquote don't need a man, so therefore my child does not need a father. Until they do. Until you get the child and realize that you cannot give that child everything that they need in terms of the tools, the rearing, the teaching, and the education of being an adult, preparing them to be well-rounded adults when they leave your home. Because you are ill-equipped and are incapable of providing your child, whether the child is a girl or a boy, you are incapable of providing examples of masculinity to this child. So the girl never understands what it is to be loved, disciplined by, and held accountable by her father. A boy child never learns the rules of manhood, how to handle his aggression, his growing masculinity, what to do with these things, or how to deal with problems, learning how to problem solve, learning how to be a proper leader from his father. He doesn't learn discipline. He doesn't learn anything about how the world moves for men. He learns nothing. He learns none of that. Because you are literally incapable of giving him that. You are incapable of giving a young boy his much needed man lessons. The conversations that a father would have with his son that you may never become privy to. The way a man is going to communicate with his son, particularly when you aren't there. Because, and of course it's going to be age appropriate. He's going to talk to him like he talked to any other man. Once he gets of age to deal with girls, once he starts hitting puberty, because that man was a boy at one point, so he understands from experience what his son is now going to go through. Your girl, because you are incapable of giving her any masculinity and you deprive them of a father, purposely, mind you, how's she gonna understand what leadership from a man look like? How is she going to be able to discern the difference between a man providing her system, order, and structure and being manipulative, abusive, and controlling? How is she going to make these distinctions? How's she gonna do it? She's not gonna be capable. She can't learn the discernment from you because you don't have any. You don't have a man. So she can't learn the discernment about connecting with a man in a romantic and marital situation because you don't have a man. So she never gets this example. So the first man that pay her any kind of attention and that attention feel good, she going. 9 times out of 10, she going. She going. Whether that man good for her or bad for her, she ain't gonna know the difference until it's too late. And she already caught up in some foolishness. Y'all have been setting these kids up for failure in the real world for the last 2 to 3 generations. And y'all think because some of y'all are able to go and get these little funky degrees and a couple of little dollars, that now all of a sudden the value of men being husbands and fathers is somehow not relevant. You don't need that. How many generations of YNs and hoes you gonna raise? YNs and hoes. It take a father to tell a girl, his daughter, not to be no hoe. It take a father to tell a daughter to not be a hoe. Even if the mama not a hoe and she try to tell her daughter don't do that, it'll carry some kind of weight, but it actually carries more weight when her daddy reinforces that don't be no hoe. Because you know what the daddy gonna say? I'm a man. I'm a man. And I'm telling you how men think. I'm telling you how men think and how boys think and what they think of you. When you dress a certain way, when you act a certain way, when you carry yourself a certain way, listen, we don't be respecting it. We'll have sex with you all day. We'll have sex with you as many times as you let us. That's just how men go. But we're not going to respect it. We're not really going to like you. And we're not going to, you know what I'm saying, like value you. We see you as low. And that's a hard pill to swallow from your daddy. But better to swallow it from your dad than have to swallow a pill from some other man who is more than happy to shove it down your throat. Pun intended. And every girl that with a father that was worth the salt going bread had that talk with her dad. Me included. Daddy sat me down a couple of times. Like, don't get caught up. A man will do whatever you let him. Good, bad, or ugly. Please understand it. And the older I got, the more the less sugar-coated them talks became. The older I got, the less he sugar-coated what he was talking about. Listen, this, that, and this is what's really going on. He gave me all the game. And it was up to me whether or not I was going to listen to him. That was absolutely out. That was absolutely out. A boy. Boy. You think you can have a boyfriend? That's what you think? Think you can? You think you can have a boyfriend? See, I was too young with my granddad a little bit. Me and my grandfather didn't have that talk. But yeah, I can imagine almond eyes, because the older the men get, also the less sugar coating that they're going to do. You're gonna be clutching your pearls. Talking to an old man and he dropping game, you're gonna clutch your pearls. Or you might as well go ahead and clutch them, because he's gonna say what he's saying and then look at you. He'll say, yeah, well, take it or leave it. Anyway, after these messages, we'll be right back I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you need to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, then you need the body butter that is in front of you right now. If this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, the link is currently pinned to the top of the chat. The links are also in the description box for every sponsorship that is happening on the channel. So you will always be able to go and click the link for ashkicking.com. Okay. Once again, I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. We got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. We got to, Let me go ahead and read the super chats real quick. Thank you. Anyone can learn for your contribution. Appreciate you. HVAC said for the last time, Black women, we are not raising your kids. Yeah, I said it exactly. Thank you again. Anyone can learn. Say exactly. It's a stream of DNA. HVAC said media man on his channel have told Black women to leave this type of Black man alone. Y'all must leave this man alone. I don't care how pretty he may look. Leave him alone because we are not coming to save y'all. Thank you, Red Sigma. So I see and hear this type of foolish man at work. HVAC said Crimson been telling y'all they don't care about these kids. They don't be caring. Thank you, Thanos. So let me get that since you got your degree. Definitely will do.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, HVAC again. So my mom told me at 16, don't bring your black behind at home at 12 in the morning. Stay with your girlfriend outside. Thank you, David, for your contribution. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. And y'all know what time it is, right?
Right here is official. Never really saw anything like this before. How do you know when you're doing a proper push up? You gotta go all the way down, chest touching the floor, coming back up full extension. But now that you told me how to do it, now how you know when you're doing it? You don't know, and you won't know unless you have what it is. Nah, that was fire. That was fire. Make sure it keeps you accountable. Accountability is everything. So
incredible. You can't cheat. You gotta go all the way down and all the way up, and that's one solid rep. Good money.
That's it. It's no arguing, no debating, no questioning. All the way down, all the way up. You gotta start and finish the same way. Check out my shit.
Fucking crib raiser.
And I know you like that. No shortcuts, no cheating. Because what you need to do is hit the link at the top of the chat so that we can finally answer the age-old question. How do you know when you've done a proper push-up, right? Because yes, go all the way up and go all the way down. That's how. But how do you know when you've done a proper push-up? And the answer is you don't know. And you won't know until you have the proper push. It is a one-of-a-kind and first-of-its-kind push-up enhancement device. So what you need to do right now is click the link at the top of the chat, theproperpush.com/VIP, in order to unlock an exclusive VIP offer, because we are launching our Kickstarter campaign pretty soon, and you want to get in on this immediately. So you want to sign up with your email. Once you sign into your email, click the reserve launch invite button and confirm and verify your email. Then you want to definitely, this is the important part, you want to look into your inbox, check your junk and spam as well, because what you're going to find is that invite for VIP, and you want to lock in your VIP spot, because there's only 100 spots, and once they're gone, they're gone. So you're going to be getting a 20% discount off of the Proper Push when the product is ready to launch. Like I said, there's only 100 spots. So you definitely want to be in on this. You're going to be receiving exclusive Proper Push merch, instant alerts when our Kickstarter actually goes live, and first access to early bird Kickstarter rewards and limited deals. So once again, you want to hit the link at the top of the chat, theproperpush.com/VIP. Okay? And reserve your spot now. All right. I wanted to show another aspect of women being cooked out here. This is yet another clip with Sarah speaking to some ladies. And I need y'all to listen to this too.
Tell you this flat out, I am not scared to lose a man. I am not scared to
That's
get
the
divorced.
problem.
And no, it's not.
That's the problem. I don't think that we as women should be spreading our intimate things with men.
Do I think that my husband or my partner can go and have lunch or dinner with just a woman one-on-one? Yes.
Oh, I agree too. Yes.
She doesn't.
For what? Come to the house. I'll cook for you.
I need.
Which is cap, by the way. The same women that are sitting here talking about, I don't care if my man goes on a lunch date with a woman. These are the same women checking their man phone. This the same woman that will check her man phone and wants to know whether or not he's liking some chick's pictures on Instagram. These will be the same chicks talking about liking pictures on Instagram is cheating. Now, all of a sudden, y'all, quote unquote, don't mind your fiance, man, husband, whoever he is, to randomly be out one-on-one with another woman. Now you don't mind. I be calling so much cap on all of this foolishness that they be talking about, because they talk out the side, both sides of their neck, and that's what I don't like. I am not scared to lose a man. What? Y'all be these women be acting like they don't slide down the wall. Because when that man that you want, when you go ahead and fumble him, and he basically tell you that he done with the whole situation, and you can kick rocks and he ain't calling you no more, and he ain't coming over, y'all be sliding down the wall and crashing out. Now y'all don't care about losing a man.
My time with my friend privately. Crazy.
That's weird.
See?
It's weird to me.
I want to catch up like with my dog. I want to talk.
But why
crazy.
can't you do that in front of your man?
But I also can't share every single lived experience.
That's weird.
I'd be so resentful that my man controlled my life that much. It wouldn't work.
But is it control or is it respect? Because I don't think, because for me, there's not a man on this planet that I would choose over my husband. This is your once in a lifetime, platinum needle in a haystack, swing for the fences, best friend, confidant, lover, husband.
But that's not true, because people have multiple husbands.
No, and that's the thing. You see it different. But in my mind, I'm like,
what is she talking about? People have multiple husbands. That gave me a headache just right now. That immediately gave me a headache. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I got a headache right behind this eye from that. Y'all are literally sliding down the wall because these men refuse to even come to these little mixers and singles events to even talk to you or look at you. Y'all gets on the internet and snot nose cry. I mean, y'all be doing this on TikTok. Who are y'all trying to convince? Because I'm not buying it. So who are y'all trying to convince that y'all don't want these men? And that y'all are not sitting at night pining for these men? Yearning for these men. Like Seinfeld used to say, do you yearn? Like, do you yearn? Y'all yearn.
Y'all don't want to be married.
Now, I'm curious because I do want to make sure we get to it. You had a second engagement.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Ooh, child.
Classic deflection onto what might be going on in Sarah's life. Currently, she is engaged. Got mad. That was getting sensitive once Sarah said y'all don't want to be married. And y'all don't want to be married. Y'all want the benefit, whatever benefit you think marriage can give you, i.e., some man come along and rescue you and save you and create a safety net for you and your recklessness that you want to have. But you don't actually want to be married. Because marriage comes with a set of responsibilities for the women as well as for the men. The men are not the only ones who have duties and responsibilities as it pertains to upkeeping, maintaining a marriage. And everything that a woman is called to do, y'all do not want to do. Women who are in or have been in successful marriages, and that's telling y'all chicks, these are the things. The formula has not changed yet. Whether the woman make a lot of money, whether she don't make a lot of money, whether she make more money than her man, whether she don't make more money than her man. Every woman who is an actual wife, the formula do not change. Like I did a video of the other lady a couple of weeks ago where she was sitting with her husband and she was the one that made more money. And she was like, basically, what do that mean? That's my husband. And he is respected as such. What was the lady's name? She was on Club Shay Shay a while ago. Was it Cheryl Underwood? And Shannon was asking her about being the breadwinner, and she said, I'm not a breadwinner. And he was like, yeah, well, you be making more money. She said, yeah, but I'm not the breadwinner. Meaning, I'm not the one that takes the lead in the marriage. That's not me. No matter what kind of dollar amount. Because that's not the criteria of leadership. Little do y'all know. And every time a woman come up to say, this is what you have to do in order to be a successful wife to your husband, these are the basic tenets. Even if the nuances may be different from marriage to marriage, you know what I'm saying? The details might be a bit different, but this is the basic structure of what you're supposed to do as a wife in a relationship, in a marriage. y'all don't ever want to do it. This is why the lionesses just let y'all. This is why the lionesses just let y'all crash and burn. Because when we tried to tell y'all to watch out for that tree, y'all didn't do it. And you told us we was stupid. You told us we was pick-me's. You told us we was male identified. You told us that we was mammies and pushovers and doormats. So we just let you. All we asked is for you to keep your shenanigans over there. Do not come over here messing with people and all of that. You mess up our game. Stay in the boneyard. Quit playing.
Way too much. Now, if I get into it with them, I gotta live here and you don't. Don't be getting it. You're gonna get me in trouble. Get out the way. Move. Just move.
You're going to get us in trouble. So just move. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get on up off of here. I done held y'all long enough. But jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, is The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Don't forget to also follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook, TikTok. I am The Crimson Cure on all of these platforms, okay? All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.